So here's the number one question. He's probably not going to be released from the Bexar County Jail till 1 a.m. So is there going to be somebody available to pick him up? Okay, so everybody said they'll pick you up. All right, I appreciate the fact that
Thomas Blinko stood in a Bexar County courtroom in San Antonio, Texas, facing a robbery charge that carried a sentencing range of 5 to 99 years in prison.
with the offense of robbery, if the state presents evidence that proves the repeater paragraph, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
He was not there because police tracked him down. He was not there because a warrant sweep caught him off guard. He walked in on his own.
All right, the next person up is Thomas Blinko. And this is an application probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2021 CR 9763C, State of Texas versus Thomas Blinko. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett.
It started with a birth certificate. For the first time in years, Thomas had finally gotten the paperwork he needed to apply for a Texas ID. His caseworker at Corazon San Antonio was helping him through the process. When the records check came back,
A couple that I could pull off the top of my head.
Okay.
First of all, how he got arrested was he got his birth certificate and he was really excited. He's never had a Texas ID before. So in doing the ID recovery process, found out he had the warrant and then waited outside for PD. When PD showed up, they knew who he was, and the police officer tried to go talk to the magistrate judge, but wasn't able to do that. So Mr. Blinko was living under.
there was a warrant on file. Most people in that situation disappear. Thomas went outside and waited for the police to arrive. The charge stemmed from a confrontation beneath a bridge in San Antonio. The context, according to the defense, involved individuals who were reportedly selling drugs in the area where Thomas and others in the unhoused community were living. The judge acknowledged being aware of that background. That context did not erase the charge. Thomas understood that. He pled guilty. What the court did not expect was what came next.
All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. The court will find the enhancement true based upon your plea of true in state's exhibits 1 and attachments. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Two things, Your Honor. One, may I present this folder with a few
Yes.
letters? And I have
Defense attorney Roger Pettis asked the judge for a moment before sentencing. He presented a folder filled with letters. Then he asked 2 women to step forward. 6 people had come to that courtroom that morning to speak for Thomas Blinko.
2 individuals here. But before I ask them to come up, I had been touched by Mr. Blinko, not by him personally as much as by the support that he has here. He had 6 people here. One has had to leave. And you have many of the pieces of correspondence that basically cite him as a success story. This gentleman was a homeless gentleman before. Once he got through this cycle, he's become a volunteer, an amazing volunteer, to the extent that he had 6 people here in court all morning waiting to share with me and with you, Your Honor, and with him. It's been very emotional for him. But they're amazing. And 2 of them would like to share just a couple of comments.
Okay, and he's still at the pay it forward?
I'm sorry?
Is he still at the pay it? Are you still at pay it forward?
One had already left. The 5 who remained had been sitting in those gallery seats since the session began. Brittany Ackerson approached the bench first.
No, it doesn't have to be on the record. Hello.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Brittany Ackerson. I am the Assistant Director of Corazon San Antonio and have been working with Mr. Thomas Blinko for years. If you don't mind, I wrote some notes down.
No.
Okay. We've worked with him for a very long time, and he's done a lot for this community. So this is just a.
She was the Assistant Director of Corazon San Antonio, and she had worked with Thomas for years. She described the moment he showed up asking for help getting into detox. She told him to come back the next morning if he really meant it. He did.
His own volition, He came to us, said, I need to go to detox. I need to go to treatment. And I said, we like to test people. If they really want it, they're going to show up. So I told Blinko, show up tomorrow. And he did. And I took him to detox and treatment. He graduated treatment. He went into outpatient treatment on his own. He goes to AA meetings throughout the city of San Antonio and leads them. He shows up at Corazon and Cam literally every day.
He graduated inpatient treatment. He moved into outpatient care on his own. He began attending AA meetings across the city. Then he started leading them. She described a man who arrived at Corazon nearly every single day, not because he had to, but because the people still living under that bridge were people he used to live beside. He had trained San Antonio police cadets on what it means to serve the unhoused population. He had reconnected with his children. He had encouraged dozens of others to seek treatment. She tried to stay composed. She did not manage it.
He's encouraged people to seek treatment throughout the city. So this is where I'm going to try not to get emotional, but I will. So not only does he show up for his fellow peers, homeless, that I appreciate you. My eyes are leaking. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
So not only does he show up for his peers out on the street and direct them in changing their life, he knows the severity of what we do working with the unsheltered population, and that we're surrounded with death more so than life. So as we are helping people, he comes in and supports us as well. He truly is a success story and a model in this community.
She was the director of homeless services at Christian Assistance Ministry in San Antonio, and she was also a person with lived experience of her own. 9 years clean and sober. She had known Thomas since 2017. She described the cadet training program they had built alongside the San Antonio Police Department, and how Thomas was the first person she called to stand in front of those recruits and tell his story. She said, simply, that recovery is possible, and that Thomas was a living and breathing example of that.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Valerie Salas. I'm the Director of Homeless Services at Christian Assistance Ministry. I'm also a person with lived
I'll
experience.
slow down a little bit.
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't be nervous.
I'm very nervous.
I think I may have met you before, but okay.
Probably I'm a person with lived experience as well.
Yes.
I've been sober, clean and sober for 9 years. I'm also the board chair president of the Lived Experience Advisory Board under Sarah, which is South Alamo Regional Alliance of the Homeless. And I met Thomas in 2017, and I just want to say his transformation is we're in recovery. We're a program of action, not promotion.
Valerie Sauce spoke second.
Now, we partner really closely with SAPD. We started a cadet program with them where we actually train the cadets before they hit the streets to understand what it is to serve the homeless, because many of the calls will be on the homeless. He's the first person we pulled in and testify and share his story with them, and he does those with us. He shows up every day to our campus to serve. I've sat in with AA meetings with him when he gets his sobriety chips and see the light that goes off when that happens. I'm sorry.
No problem.
But I personally, as a person with lived experience and a person who runs a campus that helps a lot of people, we need that light to show others that recovery is possible and that a second chance of life is possible. And Tomas.
The judge listened to all of it. Then she spoke directly to Thomas
We're back on the record. I appreciate the fact that you actually found out you had a warrant, turn yourself in. Most people who are not in recovery, they try to dodge things instead of saying, this is a problem, this is an issue, I'm going to face it head on. So I appreciate that. And the testimony that they've given to you reminds me of when I go to drug court graduations or graduations from treatment and see the changes in people. So I really appreciate that. All right. But next time, call police. Don't confront anybody. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
She said she appreciated that when he found out there was a warrant, he did not run. She said that most people, especially people who are not in recovery, try to dodge those moments. He faced it. The plea agreement had called for a 6-year prison sentence. The court found him guilty. The court found the enhancement true. Then the judge suspended that sentence and probated it for 3 years.
So this is what the court will do. Court is finding you guilty. As previously stated, the enhancement true. Court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. 200 hours of community service restitution probation. The community work that he does, once you get information about what he's doing in the community, you can count that towards his community service hours. And are you going to be staying at?
$2,000 in fines probated. 200 hours of community service, with the judge specifically noting that the work Thomas was already doing in the community could count toward that requirement. No prison. Before the session ended, the judge turned to the supporters still standing in the gallery. She thanked them. She told them that sometimes people in that courtroom go to prison, and she takes no joy in it. She told them that when the community can be protected and a person can still get treatment and change their life, she is all for it 100%. Then she asked who was going to pick Thomas up from the jail when he was released, because he likely would not be processed out until 1 a.m. Everyone raised their hand.
Run down the list. If one doesn't answer, call the next.
All right. I want to thank you all for coming down to support him, because sometimes when bad things happen to you and you are saying in your mind, I'm on the straight path, how could this happen? Things tend to go downhill because you're thinking nobody's going to believe I've ever changed. So I want to thank you all so much for supporting him and for the work that you do in the community, because without you all, community is not going to get better. I am one of those judges that I believe if the community can be protected and people still get their treatment and change their lives around, I'm all for it 100%. And I know the state and defense counsel will tell you that as well. So thank you all for what.
That moment, more than the sentence, more than the testimony, more than the legal documents, is what the court does not usually see. A man who had been sleeping beneath a bridge was surrounded by people willing to wait until 1 a.m. to bring him home. The system rarely rewards that kind of transformation. On this day, in this courtroom, it did.
You do in the community. And if ever you want to bring somebody down here to see what happens in the court, you're always welcome, because sometimes people go to prison because that's what happened. And it happens sometimes. I don't take any joy in sending people to prison, though. But I know I've met some of you to different events I've gone through in this San Antonio heat. People don't realize that you guys are out there and it's 100 degrees and there's no fan and it's hot. I go out there and I'm from the South. I tell people I am not glistening anymore. I'm sweating. It's just you're drenched. So I